can get. Let me wonder what we could have been. I close my eyes, it's not a dream. You want a smile that I couldn't get. I close my eyes, it's not a dream. I close my eyes, it's not a dream. 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 Money got me like. Money got me like.
They say that all roads come to an end, and tonight this is the case. Welcome back, everybody. It is the final esports stream of the term. I'm Dragon, here with my GOAT, the legend, the myth, the Colorcast of the Year winner, Newt. What's going on tonight, my friend?
We got a big one coming. It's grand finals of our Division II League of Legends NECC Esports versus Texas A&M Maroon. It's a battle for the ages, and it's a late night, right? We're already at 10 p.m., and this is a best of 5. This one, at the very least, is probably going to 1 a.m.
And you know what?
At the most, we might be here till 4. So, hopefully you guys decide to join us for the ride if anyone's actually, decides to. But now let's take a look at those beautiful faces for our Fuel roster. We do have a substitution, and unfortunately, Yemeni is unable to play due to extraordinary circumstances. I forget what that word is. Anyways,
Unforeseeable circumstances.
yeah, stuff happened. So we have HDK, Setnu is going to be playing in the jungle, Horus, Omega Boo, and Top Guru running the rest of the team. We've seen the core of this team make some real magic happen in playoffs so far. They've come here fully undefeated, yet to drop even a game in their playoff run so far. We'll see if Texas A&M decides to stop that, as these two teams do have a little bit of history. During regular season, Texas A&M played against Fuel, and it was a 2-0 for Texas. That was Fuel with a sub in. It was with Sutek in. We'll see how Santi does instead. But it seems like whenever you're up against this team, Fuel just cannot find their main player.
And maybe that's just how it goes. Aside from that, I don't really have much to say. I think we're just going to cut it to a short break. We got a long night ahead of us. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. We're going for gold.
I told her mom that I bust soon. Know as a child back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my room. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom.
Fuel Esports has a lot of student, staff, and players, but other than watching their sick clips on stream, we don't really know too much about them. My name is Joshua Chen, also known as Boo, and for my rest of the time here, I'm going to be interviewing some of the key players that have been involved in Fuel throughout the years. Stay tuned as we have staff, players, and captains talk about how they got started at Fuel and how they've shaped Fuel throughout the years.
Wait, you lose. Wait, I win. Wait, no, I don't. Wait, double kill. Wait, double kill. I win. I won the game. That's one.
We were so depressed 2 seconds ago.
Welcome back to another interview. My name is Boo. This time I am joined by Santi. Hi, Santi. So, Santi, how did you get started at Fuel?
How I got started with Fuel, I don't know. I've been here for a while now, and I didn't try out for any of the teams, but I did stay in the Fuel room a lot during when it first came open to like open play. I had an enjoyable time in there, and then I tried out for some teams, and then from there I just stuck around with Fuel.
Yeah, and I feel like you're one of the ones that spend a lot of time in the Fuel room, one of the regulars, I would say. Can you tell me about like why you spend so much time in there, or like, is there a reason?
And we are into game 1 draft. Now, reminder, this is fearless. So if we go the distance, Rangan was telling me, and he wants to make sure this is clear, 50 champions will be out of the pool. We'll see how these pools end up being played, but it does come down to these bans because likely with fearless, right, with a best of 5 especially, you can kind of do things where you don't have to ban like strong picks for the enemy because you can use fearless to your advantage. Say, I believe Texas' mid laner plays a lot of mages. So they could pick like a Mel bot, pick like another mage mid, and then that's 2 of their champions out of the pool, right?
Right.
So there's always plays around this. We'll see how they do. Texas is going to be banning the Fiora away from HDK777 #Fiora. Big shock there to everyone as we have been telling them to get rid of the Fiora in his name for 2 years now, I think. But clearly
Braum
that hasn't
band?
worked. Braum band's an interesting one from Texas. That signifies to me that they want to play a melee support, or they want to play kind of like more of a melee-centered dive comp.
I don't recommend. I don't
That's gonna be
recognize
Mel.
Fuels.
That's Mel
Oop.
Hover, but that's gonna be a Hui band. This is just targeting the mid laner. Now, Texas's best player is far and away their mid laner. I believe it's like I want to say it's like an 800 LP difference between
Okay.
their mid laner and the rest of their team. It's something. It's absolutely insane. Like this player is like 1.5k LP, I believe. So Nico gonna be banned away. A double support ban targeting Fanshaw's support of Guru. Now we'll see how we decide to finish this off.
Whoa, that was
Jarvan-
fast.
Jarvan banned. Wukong picked. That was what Santi was playing mostly in solo queue earlier today. So maybe a little bit of a target of that. Very strong pick though, nonetheless. We'll see what Fuel decide to respond. I'm expecting early mid pick because the Ori and the Rise are big prio picks for Horus.
Gangplank.
No.
No.
The Gangplank player on Fuel is the support.
Oh, okay.
He would have played it last year. I think you would have seen it last time.
Yunara.
Yunara going to be picked. A very, very strong, very prio 80 carry there. Hyper carry especially. That now opens up maybe a Lulu pick here if they decide to drop mid to 3-4 or to 3. I wouldn't be upset to see a Yunara Lulu here. I wouldn't be upset to see, Yunara plus jungle. I think you could go Yunara Rise or Yunara Oriana. You have a lot of different angles here for Fuel. I think Xin is probably your prio jungler at this stage, but you don't have to pick it here. You probably save it 3. We'll see what Fuel decides to go for, though.
Well, we're gonna find out.
That one's a pick. You know what? My bad.
Shyvana?
Yeah, Shyvana just got a recent rework. I actually wasn't sure if she was enabled for this or not. It does seem like she is. That's going to be a jungle pick. She's strong, but she is not as team fight, not as standard or as like safe as some of these, bruiser junglers we see like Wukong, Jarvan, Bai, Xin, who just always have value. Shiv does have to scale.
Okay, so as long as Shyvana manages to kind of stay at least in a good pace with everybody else.
Lucian, yeah, that's what the Braum signified to me was a really aggressive bot lane. So it's gonna be like a Lucian Nami here, into the Yunara. I expect Fuel just to respond with the Lulu then to try to fight back against it in any way.
Nami.
Could also go for a Yunara Nautilus if you want to, but Guru isn't really the most well known for his Nautilus. I think Lulu is what I would pick here. For Fuel, I think you're definitely looking at an Enchanter.
Well, because when you're playing Nautilus, you have to hit those anchors.
Yeah, you have to hit the
them.
hook. And with Nami Lucian, you're just gonna get bullied out of lane if you're a melee champion. Yunara Lulu scales really well as also into the game. However, you are dropping your mid laner to 4-5. I think this is an unfortunate thing of a champ pool problem where ideally there I think you want to pick Lulu, but because your mid laner has a bit
We
of
have a Lux ban.
that's me another mid ban.
Jax ban.
Yeah, because your mid laner kind of has a tight pool, you're forced to pick one of these mid laners that he's strong on early on in the draft.
Well, Fuel
If
clearly
I were
doesn't like
Fuel here,
rainbows.
I don't know if Texas's mid laner plays Ori, but I would ban Ori to protect it for yourself because you need to keep as many mid lane picks possible alive in this draft for yourself. Because that's always been kind of a problem with Fuel this semester has been mid lane champ pool. He has, after the first three, after Rise, Ori, and Joe are gone, really starts to fall. We'll see if he can survive in this best of 5. If it goes the distance, Lulu's going to be banned away as well as the Jax, and then the Mel Lux. So that's going to be 4 mid bans for the side of Fuel.
So just the mid lane pool is not looking good right now. So it's only game 1, and we got 5 games to go potentially. We don't really want bottom of the barrel scraping right off the bat.
No, we do not. That's for sure. We'll see what Fuel decides to go for here. It's going to be a support. You want to keep your top laner getting that counter pick. I just don't know what's open. We picked none. That's a big one.
That's
for Fuel.
Okay. No, let's be honest. None is the most powerful. They are going to clearly build up everything.
It's going to be a Leona pick for the side of Fuel. So I believe this is the first time we've seen Guru Leona in an actual match. We've streamed this semester, but it's a good engaged champ. It's able to pick off the Lucian and the Nami in lane. However, I think it can get a little bit bullied by this Lucian Nami early on. We'll see how he decides to pilot it. It's definitely a bit more volatile than that Enchanter would be. But because you have a Shyvana, you don't really have a true engage or for frontline like that would be traditional, like a Bruiser, like a Xin or a Vi. So you need a little bit more of that engage potential, and that's what that Leona is going to provide for you. Ornn pick is just a super safe blind. It counters most picks that HDK can go for, really. I think he might lock the Camille here. He could go for just HDK's pool is it's always a little bit wonky.
Aurora.
That's be the mid lane Aurora. Very strong into the Rise. I mean, I'm kind of shocked it was left open considering that's a pretty good matchup into Rise. It's really just going to be down to what they decide to finish this draft off with the top lane pick. It's HDK, so I highly doubt we're going to be going anything passive. I think Camille is a good answer. I think you could definitely go, if he plays Gwen, Gwen's really good here. But I don't
Aatrox
think
as
he
well.
does. Yeah, Aatrox actually is pretty solid here as well. I think there's quite a few options. Camille, again, is just the one that reads to me the most here, but we'll see what he decides to go for. This could be his Olaf. It's going to be the Olaf, yeah. Very Feast or Famine character. We've seen it time and time again from HDK. Every time we see it, a new look comes out. Really, it really is a coin flip on the day if this Olaf is going to go 10-0 or 0-10, and it will just dictate the pace of the game. We'll see what Fuel can do against this, as that Ornn kind of stagnated against this lane. If he plays safe enough, he can stop this Olaf from really being able to play too much, and the rest of the map for Texas could just end up winning out.
And now, as the picks, and remind me again, who's none?
It's Leona.
Leona. Okay. So with this first draft, these are the first 10 champions that are being taken from the pool for game 1. And I agree with you, especially going on how the top laner is going to play that Olaf. Can it be 10-0, 0-10? It really is going to come down to how they can respond, because I do think that Texas does have a very, very powerful roster. Will Fuel be able to build into that and potentially scale? I think we're going to look for my kind of estimate's going to be Texas is going to kind of lead a little bit in the early game, but then Fuel is going to regain control in the mid game and try to snowball that into the late game.
Yeah, I think Fuel really needs to get past 25 minutes without it being a lost game in order to be able to really play this one. They do outscale. I think 80 carry outscales. I think mid lane outscales a little bit. Top does not outscale. Top needs to get ahead. Jungle, I don't really know I know Shyvana's a scaling champ traditionally, and I know new Shyvana is very strong when she can get those items, when she can get those levels. But it's going to be a lot weaker in the early game. Early game's really going to be dictated by this Wukong. These level 6 timers, you're going to see, as soon as level 6 hits, you're going to see this Aurora and you're going to see this Wukong tag team together and just kill a lane. Likely. That's something Fuel has to be careful for. I'm interested to see how they're going to be responding to it, but it is all going to come down to inside the game, as we're going to be waiting to a short break as we wait for game 1 to load in for this best of 5. Don't go anywhere.
Summoner's Rift.
Well, as it said, welcome to Summer's Rift. Here we are with Game 1, Fuel Esports versus Texas AMU. It is the grand finals. It's our best of 5 series, and we're already off to a slow start. But that's how the start goes. You already see just a little bit. Everyone's just trying to get some zoning, get some information, waiting for the minions to spawn. Your classic early game setup.
Early Raptor Ward by the Wukong from Texas A&M. We'll see how that's going to end up playing out. HJK is going to force out the Ornn just a little bit here as Ornn starts Q. There is a ward down. HJK spots this, but he gets another Q as HJK special here. He's just going to walk into the enemy blue buff, level 1. Now, Wukong will be able to outplay that. He will just walk to his wolves. He won't really lose anything for this, but it does give a little bit of tempo to Setnu. And both runners will be known about both spots, fully aware, as now we slowly starting to play these lanes out.
And as these minor skirmishes go in, you can see Horus is taking a lot more damage. HTK had a bit more damage taken in the bottom lane. We're seeing heavy exchanges with Fuel on the back foot. Boo almost already down to half of their regular HP. Does get some long-range strikes onto them, but the Mermaid slaps back with just enough damage. And now they're going in, trying to get the first blood. They do escape.
Bot lane is going to favor Texas pretty heavily early game. The lane's probably going to play out that early lanes are going to be winning for bot or for top for Fuel. Mid is really early levels. I think is slightly Aurora Fairy favored, but as we start to get a little bit higher up, you're going to see Horus start to be able to trade back really aggressively.
There you go.
The Prison finding its mark there as he's just going to try to get his reset going. Now this is Ghost versus Ignite in the mid lane. No TPs to be found. The more and more, you know, the season's gone on, people have just kind of decided TP isn't really needed. With the home guard changes, you get back to lane so fast anyways that a lot of the time having a combat sum is really nice. Now Rise loves having Ghost, obviously, as he loves to kite. The whole thing is based off move speed. HDK took a cheater recall here as he's going to buy a refillable and a long sword. He's going to walk on in. Setnu clearing up his camps, finishing up his full clear here. He'll be a little bit ahead of this Wukong, so we should be able to get this bot Scuttle Crab mostly uncontested unless the bot lane of Texas A&M decide to do something about it.
And they probably won't. They look like they're kind of sitting
Just a little bit too far behind on his clear, really.
Yeah, no, not they are, and I'm just curious as to if Texas is trying to play for more. They're gonna let Fuel try and gain some ground and then just collapse in on them, because it seems they're opening a lot of these early objectives just to allow them to gain some time. But I think they might do a crushing blow.
And we'll see, as they are going to look for a little bit of a gank here.
Setnu
Setnu shows up, uses that W to try to get some move speed, slows down on the Nami, but it's just going to be a flash and a heal trade for nothing from Fuel. Very nicely done, as that's going to give Fuel's bot lane the tempo that they needed to play here. As now, we'll see the side of Texas A&M start to look back. A nice trade by Horus there on the rise, finding the value. Again, early lane's going to be favoring mid, it's going to be favoring top. It's really just bot lane where you think that Fuel's going to be behind. So a good play by Setnu there to get his bot lane out of a dangerous position under their turret. They do still have to be careful though, as that Zenith Blade's going to go wide, and the side of Fuel are kind of forced to walk back here. Boo hitting the wave, trying to get this wave pushed out. No mana on the Lucian, but he still has Flash and Barrier. Fuel, however, 4 combat sums. Oracle going through. It's going to try to get that wave crashed up. It's a rough reset for the side of Boo.
A nice dodge by Froggy there, leaping away like a Froggy to get out of that attack from Horus. They are keeping this mid lane in a little bit of a stalemate. In the top lane, though, it looks like HDK is going for a bit of an advance, just pushing them back to their tower. HDK is still taking a lot of damage. They can't really hold into that fight if they try to go into 1-to-1 right now.
Yeah, right now he's just getting a little bit of a lead, but if an Ornn is, you know, even remotely even with a Olaf at all in the early game, the Olaf is losing. Olaf needs to be ahead of an Ornn to really find some value. Mid lane, though, going really, really well for the side of Fuel, as they've started to amass themselves just a little bit of CS leads here and there, right? About a 5 CS lead top lane, 7 CS lead bot. Yep, Shyvana loves to stack dragons. That's always been her thing. She gets a lot of resistances off of these. Now, Nami is here, does spot it, but with 4 members of Fuel hitting this dragon, that's going to have to be first dragon going the way of Fuel.
Unless Texas tries to get a quick steal, because the Wukong is coming. They're making their way. They're going through, and Texas steals it like a Kit Kat truck.
And that is really bad for the side of Fuel as Wukong hits level 6 off of that Drake steal. And now the game swings in favor of Texas A&M. You called it, we spotted the Wukong thinking he was going to go for it. I expected it to just be, that W that put Trickster over the wall instead of going for the flash, but beautifully timed by the jungler of Texas A&M, as that is going to set Fuel back quite a bit. It really is just the fact that the crucial part there is the fact that Wukong hits level 6 on that. As soon as he finishes the Drake, he hits level 6, and he just completely wins the fight with a level 6 Wukong. Wukong gets spiked on his level 6. So does Aurora. Both of them love to hit level 6. Right now, they have, they were down a little bit in CS. Now, the side of Texas A&M are comfortably about a 1.3k gold lead, and it is the mid-jungle 80 carry.
I shouldn't be agreeing, but that was such an impressive play by Texas. It was so, it was so just out of the blue and perfectly timed. It's going to put, as you said, it puts Fuel on the back foot. However, this does give Fuel the opportunity to really now double down, lock in, and just start playing a lot more aggressive. This is where we're going to see that aggression. We're going to see a lot more HTK wailing up with the Olaf. You see Horus going in on those attacks, pushing Froggy back yet again. That one minion taking one for the team just to get a little bit more damage on the tower.
Botland fighting it again, but Guru's just kind of trapped in the middle of nowhere as this culling, the culling is going to come out and it's going to do a lot. Lucian gets the kill, rather Nami, but I mean, it's just bot lane pandemonium down here as Horus with a great realm warp is going to save the play single-handedly. However, he will not be able to finish off Lucian. Flash barrier trade for Flash Ghost of Horus. This is big for Fuel though. Boo has Flash if he wants to get a little bit fancy with it, but I think it's just going to be a classic reset here. Lucian able to collect this wave under his turret. Fuel fighting back. It looks really, really bad. Guru kind of just wandering, trying to find that stun with trying to find anything, but he just cannot find it. Eventually finds it. He falls, but it doesn't matter as Horus runs in with the Realm Warp and saves the day.
And it worked out. Now with the grub spawning, this is where Fuel can get an opportunity to get an objective onto their belt. They cannot lose the next Drake, though. It will be... Next Drake is going to be vital for Fuel to gain.
Drake stacking can be really dangerous for the side of Texas A&M because the early game, you think it's going to be favored towards them. So because of just how strong their jungle mid's going to be in these 2v2s, how strong their bot lane's going to be especially, you really can't afford to let Drake stacking happen, but you might just have to. But with a team that wants to scale, they want to pick up at least one Drake. That's why it was so rough that they ended up missing it out. Bot lane, a double kill comes in as a triple kill comes in bot lane. And it's just a 3-4-0 for the side of Texas A&M. And they're running away with this game 1. A 2.3k gold lead on the board.
And 6 kills to 1 for the side of Fuel. And we might see 7 come up. Horus is on fire, literally. And that's Froggy taking them down. It is now 7-1. In the top lane, HTK has been pushed back dangerously. And the bottom lane, they have to push through again. The mid lane, keeping that.
Warren just dancing in HTK's face, trying to bait him
emoting.
in. He's just emoting. He's just sitting there dancing, doing a little
jig.
Yeah, pulling a little jig, but HTK not going to fall for it. He's just going to keep this freeze going. Now, the side of Texas A&M is going to have to come up here. You're going to have to see Wukong pilot on up here, but Setnu knows that. He's going to make sure that that is not going to happen. However, the grubs are just going to be collected from the side of Texas A&M because of how strong their Wukong is in this play, right? He has that full Triforce finish. Santi, not quite there yet. Horus now struggling in the mid lane, right? As these levels start to come in, level 9 is going to be a real danger point for the side of Fuel's mid laner. And for Horus, you're going to have to see, Setnu start to put in a lot of work. The problem is, Lana just isn't really a jungler that wants to be ganking a lot, right? She wants to be power farming. She's down CS, she's down kills. It's a rough position here for Fuel.
Fuel on the back foot early on. The bright side right side is that with it's still we're 10 minutes in. You were saying that like Fuel needs to at least hold out for at least in this case another 10 minutes because they can start scaling. But when you have Lucian absolutely shredding through with those twin cannons, it's putting them on the back foot. That range capability that they have in the bottom lane, if they get into a team fight, it is heavily favored on Texas' side. They have range, they have tank abilities, and they can overall just have much stronger damage output if they coordinate.
Yeah, it's just it really is troublesome, right? Because what they need to do is they don't only need to get 5 minutes, 20 minutes. They need to get there where they're not super far behind. But right now they are, and it's just going to start to get worse. A second Drake comes in for the side of Texas A&M. As now, I mean, Fuel has to try to make some sort of play happen. It looks like they're thinking about maybe going on Froggy, but that's a dangerous play. As instead, it's just going to be a Drake or nothing.
And that is another soul for the side. And the Oceans are brought to life as we have an Ocean Drake now.
At this point, I would like to see Fuel maybe try to force something on top lane, right? If they can, get HDK a solid lead, he can maybe start to make some real damage in these fights, in this game, force some players into side lane, start to really bully this Orin, because right now he's winning through CS, but he's not winning in the laning, and he's not really finding. Right now, Orin's still just gonna have a little bit more value. Horus again just gets chunked to half HP. The Storm Surge for Froggy, as Horus is just caught in no man's land. He tries his best to get out of there, but that's all for naught, as that's a 4-0 Aurora. And this Aurora is running this map right now.
They're running with it, and there's no stopping, it seems. Boo and Guru have to push through, but it goes wide.
Though. Boo first uses ultimate. He's going to have to sidestep these, as Lucian may have just overextended. He culling backwards as Guru will try to finish this off. Now Boo flashes forward, and with the triumph, he will be able to survive. The CC comes out, but finally the Nami gets the kill. However, Guru will be able to pick up this final one. Unless Froggy gets here in time, Guru may just have to abandon this one as he decides to just walk away. Nami able to survive, saving that heal and then flash for the last minute. But it's not horrible for Fuel as Boo gets the better of the Lucian. I mean, a backwards culling, definitely not what he wanted there. He also, just
probably a panic
the damage of Guru. That is going to be a pretty good win for the side of Fuel. It's still a 5K gold lead, though, and they are still in a troublesome situation. Again, you need to get HDK into this game in some way. You need to get Setnu into this game in some way, because right now he's struggling. Horus is just falling more and more behind mid lane. It's just becoming a really, really big problem here for the side of Fuel.
And as the game is progressing, we're almost at that 15-minute mark. We're close to the mid game now. Everyone's around level 11 or so. Ultimates are up. Some items are being full built. We're getting into those more stronger items that are being built respectively. But Boo and Guru are 8 and 7 in levels. They are so far behind in levels compared to everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, that's just bot lane for you, right? But that's a level 11 Aurora. It's a level 11 Wukong. I mean, 3 level 11s on the side of Texas A&M. Level 8 Yunara is going to be easy pickings for those
when you're playing
ones.
an RPG and it's like, you're not recommended to be in this area, level 3. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly that. Right now, Fuel is just in a really troublesome situation. A lot of their champions, rather, really want to get to 3 items, right? 3 items is kind of a break point for a lot of them. Yunara really likes to be on 3 items because 2 items, while with the Phoenix bolts, you could be a little bit stronger. Rise as well really wants to be on 3 items. It's just, how do you get there when this is just happening? I mean, that's just a full 2v1 and just completely one-shot Boo. Froggy is going to be a real problem. I mean, it already is a real problem, but it's just going to get worse and worse for Fuel, as they don't really have any way to stop a fed Aurora from just walking them over. As Horus forced to flash away from the culling, and nothing needed to be used, as the entire game is falling apart for Fuel.
12 and 2, 5.3K gold lead. It is looking like Texas is taking this map, and that is the first turret going down in the mid lane. And look at this, that's a double kill going on the mid lane is absolutely being shredded. However, turret just got destroyed on, that's 2 turrets fallen for, well no, I saw blue turret.
2 turrets.
2 turrets, yeah, 2 turrets.
Fuel, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's 2 turrets for Fuel.
13th
one in the mid
late
lane.
somehow. for Texas A&M versus 6 plates for Fuel. Yeah, also, by the way, at the top it says 2 turrets.
Oh!
I know, right? Oh, how fun.
Hey, well,
Lucian gets another kill as now HDK has been taken out of this game. He dies a second time. That
And they
was
took
really the
down
kind of,
Shelly.
the saving grace for Fuel because he was the only one really ahead. He still is the only one ahead, but what good is a 150 gold lead in the face of an 8,000 gold lead from the rest of the map?
It's a 7,000 gold pool, 7,800. Still, you might as well say it's 8,000. Texas is carrying this map completely. I would argue that this is probably going to end in like the next 5 minutes or so with Texas victory map 1. Because I don't know how Fuel can really recover from this.
20-minute end would be very, very bold. I think this one probably goes 23, 24, I'd imagine. Unless Fuel starts to, maybe find a comeback, right? This isn't insurmountable. It's just
Dangerous.
it's very rough to overcome, right? Because your characters, your champions just don't really have tools to get yourself back into a game, right? You don't really have your Shyvana just kind of... Shyvana just really isn't doing much of anything right now at this time. Neither is, as now the Herald's going to get placed just to try to force some positioning, force a response from the side of Fuel. I think this is almost, I feel like this may have just been an expiration Herald. It forces Fuel back as this third Drake is going to fall for the side of Texas A&M, and somehow, some way, that Herald still got a charge.
And that is an Ocean Drake fallen. That is a third soul for the side of Texas. They are on soul point now. Clearing through. Choo Choo?
The Ord Horde comes in with the train. Wukong ult comes in. The Lucian ult, the Nami ult, and it's just pandemonium, and it's just carnage on the side of Fuel as HDK just sits there hitting a turret alone as his whole team falls around him. Your 20-minute call may not have been wrong, as this game 1 is domination from the side of Texas A&M.
HDK is vibing there on his own while probably, like, I don't know, they don't have radios, we can just imagine the comm just like, help cut, help cut, help cut. The tier 2 turret in the mid lane falls, another turret in the bottom lane falls. That is mid lane and bottom lane tier 2 turret fallen for the side of Fuel, and Texas is now on the doorstep of Fuel's Nexus in this map 1.
Yeah, their inhib turret's still up, right? But 2 tier 2s have fallen now. Top lane stands strong for the side of HBK. Now looking to try to pick off this Aurora. Fuel may have found it. A nice Rune Prison stops the Between Worlds from finding too much value. Somehow give this to your Nara or your Ryze. It's going to go to the Ryze. That's a 1k gold shutdown into the pockets of Horus, who may find his second item off of that. See if he gets his Archangels, it could be playable from the side of Fuel.
Well, we'll find out. Looks like HDK is trying to at least get an assault on the top lane. Just can't not find any decent damage on the Ornn. Might catch the Mermaid off, but does get stunned out. And it looks like it's a trap.
He is going to be walking in to danger. Tries to fight out on the Lucian, but the Lucian just does too much damage at this range, at this level. That's a Hubris, Essence Reaper, and a BF Sword on that Lucian. That is pure damage. As Wukong now just going to look to try to solo kill Horus. Ghost forced out for the Wukong ultimate. So a very worthwhile trade for the side of Fuel. We'll see how this ends up really finding anything as a pick onto the Lucian in the mid lane, as well as the Nami likely to fall as the Shyvana Dragon Descent found some good damage. That somehow this Nami is just standing tall in the face of danger, in the face of adversary. But Fuel get a tier 1 turret, and they fight back. Gold lead diminishes to 6.6k.
All right, we got our claws into the side of the mountain. We're just slowly climbing up. Can we keep
Carries
this?
of Fuel are not that far behind. Now this Yunara is only 600 gold behind. This Ryze, even though he's 1 in 5, is only about 2k gold behind. Somehow, finally, actually, I should say, finally, the Ornn has overtaken HDK in the top lane, but very close still. See if this can change anything. Baron spawns in 10 seconds, and that's going to be the focus for both teams. A&M have more threat on it.
They have the damage advantage. They have a way of being able to just suppress and annihilate. You saw how fast that team fight went. That was a 4 versus 4. Or was that 4 versus 5? I think all 5 members of Texas were there. because HTK was vibing.
Yeah, it was a 4 versus 5.
Oh,
to
the
side, as
Wukong gets the kill.
Picks off one,
Lucian
Lucian
gets
picks
another.
off Fu in the mid lane. That's a free Baron, and that might just spell the end of Fuel. As with this Baron
They're
push,
going
you
for it.
expect at the very least all inhibs to fall off this Baron push. And at most, the Nexus will too. Fuel forced to give, they're forced to sit with their tails between their legs. They hide in their own jungle, scared from this Aurora, who may just look to one-shot Setnu, who looks to try to farm up some camps, but he's fallen dangerously behind in the CS department. And this Shyvana is just a non-factor in this game.
That's the Baron falling to Texas. That is 3 Drakes, the Baron, 5 towers fallen. 21-4 on casualty. And the Grubs.
Every single objective is on the way up, Texas A&M. But really, the Baron and the Drakes are all that fully matters. The Baron's going to guarantee so likely. Setnu looks to try to get some force damage on that turret, but Lucian shows up and forces them all back on his lonesome. Now, he's just going to keep on walking up. Horus and Setnu thinking about maybe looking for a play. They get spotted out by the Scryer's Bloom from the Nami of Texas A&M. Now, going to be, Fuel sets up for this Drake, trying to find some sort of value, but Setnu just no tankiness in sight. He's a full damage character, but he doesn't have the levels or the gold to do
This
so.
is their final
A
shot.
pick onto the Lucian, though, a nice Dragon Descent, as Nami will fall too, and that's a good opening from the side of Fuel. They need to somehow escape from this, though, as the Wukong and the Aurora have shown up. Fu, untouched. Well, what good is that when he still just gets one shot? And even though Fuel found an opening pick and they found the pick they needed to, it doesn't matter when the Wukong, the Ornn, and the Aurora stand tall and they 3v5 the rest of Fuel.
And the entirety of Fuel is cut down. The Drake is there, and the Wukong with just under a quarter of HP can just start this Drake. Will the rest of Texas fall, or is Wukong just going to Dark Souls this and just fight it one-on-one?
Gonna be a solo Drake here. That's
Okay.
gonna be the Ocean Soul Collective to the side of Texas A&M. Fuel, it felt like that really was your last stand. You had a good pick onto the AD carry and the support of Texas A&M, but it cost you so much ability, so much everything, that by the time Froggy and Monkey King and Wukong came in, didn't have any sort of juice left in the tank. They fell as that Wukong and that Aurora just completely tear through their health bars. Horus looks to try to get some damage on the Wukong, but all that's going to fall is his own life, his own health bar. Now Ornn finds this Leona. Guru taken out of the game as the doors knocked on here for the side of Texas A&M.
Oh, they were just knocked on. They were knocked down.
Yeah, these doors, they're just going to barrel into the Nexus, into the base. And this third game 1 will finish in 23 minutes, shy of 24. A dominant win, 29-6, with a 12K gold lead for the side of Texas A&M. And that is a statement game for game 1.
This is where Fuel has to come back in game 2 with a vengeance as it falls 23-33. And, 23-34.
Or
Okay.
honestly, we did have to wait for the Jinx rocket to hit it. The game ended at like 23-30.
Yeah,
But-
we had to wait for the Jinx nuke to blow up the Nexus. But aside from that, wow, Texas showed
What
up.
really else is there to say other than just honestly utter domination? The game looked fine. That Drake play, as soon as it's stolen, the game is gone.
Yeah.
Fuel loses the team fight. They lose their objective that they were able to sneak. Like they were trying to sneak an objective when they're losing early game. I feel like maybe it was just safer to try to keep farming up, but we'll see what Fuel decides to go for. I mean,
Hey, the bright side is they don't have to worry about those 5 champions
yeah,
anymore.
no, that's true. A lot of these champions are out of the pool, but Fuel as well lost a lot of crucial champions, including the Rise, which is one of Horus's special, one of his main picks. Now his pool gets pinched even harder. HDK's pool gets pinched. Setnu's pool gets pinched. I think Fuel, their draft's just a little too volatile. It needs to live till late mid-game, but they don't really have a way to get through early game. It really does just rely on that Rise and that Olaf to do so. As soon as Rise falls behind, though, that Aurora just starts to completely run that lane. The Olaf can't do anything into an Ornn. The Shyvana just fell behind immediately and never really
Yeah.
got back into the game. The bot lane was always losing. We'll see what Fuel decides to do as we're going to be heading into game 2. Take a short break really quickly, though, but we will be back in the draft very shortly.
I close my eyes, it's not a dream. There's so much more that I can get. Let me wonder what we could have been. I swear that it couldn't keep. Close my eyes, it's not a dream. Close my eyes, it's not a dream. Close my eyes, it's not a dream.
We are back with Game 2 draft. Texas kind of just ran away with Game 1. We'll see what draft decides to be done here. Same sides, Fuel going to be taking right back to red side, thinking that maybe it wasn't the draft or it wasn't the side selection that was the problem. It was maybe a play issue. We'll see. I highly doubt any of the bans really changed, though, to be honest. Pools still kind of stay the same. Bans probably, with Fearless, there's the chance that you see one of these bans, not be dropped eventually. At the same time, there's a chance we just see these same 6 bans every single game.
Most likely.
So we'll see what they decide to do as Fuel. A lot of their picks are out of the game, right? Wukong's out, Rise is out. All the picks they played, obviously, are out as well. Lucian Nami is out. That's a strong bot lane out. Jarvan Ban going to come out for the side of Fanshawe, not wanting to let Texas get that early prio pick jungler. Xin Zhao is now probably the highest prio jungler left in the pool, I'd say. We'll see if that decides to get picked up. Mbessa is still playable. Bai is still playable. There's still quite a few junglers, but with Wukong out, with Jarvan out, with a couple of these other picks out, I think you're going to see a Xin more likely than not. But we'll see. As same bans for the side of Texas. See if Fuel decides to finish off that same ban, which I believe was not the Mel last time. That was a second phase ban. I believe first phase they banned.
And
Already forgot. I think it was another mid laner though, if I remember correctly.
they slammed Fuel's
They
mid
did.
lane.
Yeah, and
Hui.
it was Hui. Hui was the other one they banned. They
No,
banned Hui instead of banning the Mel. So the Hui is going to be fought here. We'll see what Fuel decides to do, as that is a flex pick, right? That can go both bot lane and mid lane. Very strong in both lanes. Ashe, Seraphine, going to get locked in here for Fuel likely, as that is going to be a very
Okay.
strong bot lane. And now there's no Lucian Nami. There's no Yunara, like Yunara open to try to beat it. There is quite a few picks out of the pool, so we'll see what the side of Texas decide to do to match this. I think here you could see an Ezreal Karma here. Ezreal Karma would be a very strong lane into this. You could also see the Fuego bot lane, but it does look like they're going for the Ezreal. Now, I 100% expect Karma to be picked here alongside said Ezreal, and the side of Texas are just going to play a poke comp through and through.
Well, with Hui and Ezreal, we've seen how dangerous at least those two can be in a battle. But Ashe and Seraphine, that's a dangerous combo, especially when they're scaled into the mid game. Once an Ashe is able to snowball, especially with how dangerous her bow is, it becomes a problem. And
Sona instead
Sona.
of the interesting picking of the Sona here instead of the Karma. Now, Karma is a stronger lane partner for the Ezreal. Ezreal Karma is one of the strongest lane duos. It's really, really hard to beat. But the Sona is going to scale a lot better into the game, and it's going to match the Seraphine's, Enchanter value later into the game. It's going to be actually outscaling Seraphine. So if the side of Texas AMU, when now they're the team that wants to go to late game, they are going to be in a very, very good spot if the Sona is at all in the game still. Because Sona, very, very strong.
Cho'Gath.
And that's the second of the 3 mid laners taken for the side of Fuel that he really has. Now, a Nocturne ban from the side of Fuel here. Try to pinch this Texas jungler even more. But you do still need to pick something for your own jungler. With this Nocturne ban and the idea of not banning Xin, I think that's just going to be Fuel picking Xin on 4, I imagine. A couple other things, you could still pick the Vi. There's quite a few open. You could play like a tank jungler here, right? You could run like a Sedge, you could run a Zac, Skarner even. These are a little bit weaker. The jungle pool really has just kind of become a lot more stagnant as the season's kind of gone on. You see a lot of the same picks. It's kind of always going to be these bruiser picks being played. because they're just so strong. But we'll see what Fuel decides to finish this off with as Texas does the final ban here. A Jax ban. I expect to see what they'll ban here.
None.
No ban. We'll see if they decide to write what they banned. It's going to be a Camille ban.
Camille. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I think Camille is a very strong pick for HDK. It also allows that Asher, pick comp to work a bit better as that cage comes in. Fuel needs frontline because they need something to match the poke of Texas.
Yes.
And they also need a little bit more damage. So I think you could see, a bruiser, right? The Xin Zhao. How many more times do I have to say to pick Xin Zhao before they pick Xin Zhao, really, right? Xin Zhao's going to be picked. Pantheon, instant response here. Very strong. And that is going to be the early game for Texas, right? So the late game is fully dictated by this Ezreal Sona Hui. Early game is going to be this Pantheon and whatever they play top lane. Now, judging by, I believe this top laner's pool is just full tank. He just plays full tanks. I remember I was chatting with this guy. He was not looking forward to fighting this guy when it was between him or Illinies again. Because Illini plays fun champions, and this top laner plays tanks. But we'll see.
We don't like tanks.
We don't like playing tanks, but
Renekton,
that's
oh
not a
lord.
tank. Never mind. Now, the traditional counter to this would be the
it's a
Gnar.
lizard with anger issues. How much more tank can you get?
He's a bruiser. That's that.
Okay.
But it's going to now the traditional answer to this would be the it would be the Gnar, but I don't believe HDK plays the Gnar, so it's gonna be a different pick here.
Smolder?
We'll see what he decides to go for. I hope not. I think you could see a Garen. Yeah, that feels fitting. That feels like the HDK specialty, really nowadays.
I hope he's playing Penguin Garrett again.
I hope it's out of the game by now. I'm really hoping it's out of the game by now.
I want to see the Penguin.
Pretty sure that I can't tell what character I want to call Pengu half the time.
It's accurate.
But I like this draft from Fuel a lot more. It is a little bit more comfort. It is able to get through mid game and early game especially. The biggest problem though is going to be if the side of Texas can get to late game. If this Renekton Pantheon can get the rest of their team through that early game and through the mid game, this Ezreal Sona Hui is just going to be unstoppable unless Fuel is super ahead.
Well, then with the Ashe Seraphine combo, if they can hold out and really build their items fast and be able to really bring in that heavy damage output, that will allow for, especially with the Cho'Gath and the Garen, to really bring out the hate, and then the Xing Zhao just to clean up everybody if they need to. You literally just have the murder janitor with him if you get that opportunity.
Yeah, we'll see how they end up playing this one out. I think it's going to be hopefully a lot closer of a game, but again, this early game can always dictate how things go. But I believe early game is going to be slightly favored towards Fuel, except for top and jungle. So keep an eye on this Pantheon Renekton, because that is where Texas is going to be focusing. But we're going to have to take a short break before that as we wait for Game 2 to load up.
that you left and told me that you hate me. But that man I seen you kissing at that place we always drinking is the reason that I'm singing. One more shot is what I'm missing. I know I will risk it all, 'cause you're my fireball. You won't have to crawl when you gon' fly away with me. The way you lift me up, just can't get enough. Pull me out the dust, then you take me higher. This that love that don't expire, no. I got that undivided love, my fireball. Don't need no drinks when I can vibe with you. Don't need no green when I can fly with you. These lights are falling down on us right now. Yeah, and you're still shining bright. Don't need no drinks when I can vibe with you. Don't need no green when I can fly with you. These lights are falling down on us right now, and you're still shining bright. I would risk it all, 'cause you're my fireball. You won't have to crawl when you can fly away with me. The way you lift me up, I just can't get enough. Pull me out the dust, then you take me higher. This that love that don't expire, no. I got that undivided love, divided love. 'Cause I will risk it all, oh, 'cause you're my fireball. You won't need to grow when you can fly away with me. Don't need no drinks when I can vibe with you. Don't need no green when I can fly with you. These nights are falling down.
Rift.
Keep rolling. Horus just is on a move right now. We're into game 2 already, and it's not match point because this is a best of 5 series. Minions have spun, and we're already off to a start in the bottom lane. We see some pins going out. Looks like some engagements are going on. Pantheon and is vibing. Froggy is vibing. Some mana has already been used. Again, I sound like a broken record every single time we do a League of Legends stream. You ain't gonna see much for the first couple of minutes. It's minion farming and vibing. And, you know, in the top lane, Garen and Renekton probably having a shouting contest before they actually start fighting each other. A heavy fight starts off in the bot lane. Guru takes a quarter bit of damage. Horus and Froggy are engaging. Cho'Gath Dinosaur. Because what? The dinosaur skin is just the 5. HTK goes in to attack the Renekton. HP is kind of even, but HTK has to fall back. The Ignite goes out, and he's now on fire. Does have to push back, and it looks like that this fight is going more in favor of the Renekton than to the Garen. They have to keep fighting, though, as the Renekton does heal and get that level up, so that will put them in just a bit of advantage. There's a minor gold lead for the side of Texas, but Stones goes out. We might see first blood coming up for the side of Fuel if they're not careful, and it does go. Ashe gets first blood, but it does get traded out by the Ezreal, and Boo has to fall back, but that is a 1-to-1 trade, only almost at the 2-minute mark, a lot earlier than what we saw in game 1. HTK getting pushed back, the Renekton at level 3 already. Not looking on the top lane. Mid lane, there's a stalemate. Junglers on both sides are just doing jungle things. They're getting their objectives. They have to at least be ready to assist when needed. Horus is holding their own more in the mid lane compared to game 1 as well. So this is looking a lot more Fuel favored. They just have to be sure not to overextend. Boo not looking good in the health pool right now, with Guru assisting as much as they can. Sona and Ezreal. Sona does heal Ezreal a little bit, but Ezreal's still looking very, very weak. We do clear out this minion wave. Might go over an extraction there. Horus does push back a little bit in the mid lane. And the top lane, HDK is going for it, but the health, again, not in their favor. They do get stunned out and get shredded, and that is the Renekton cutting down HDK. like I was saying, it wasn't looking good from the start for them, and they need to at least now get ready to build this up. They gotta be ahead of the Renekton if they want any chance of winning in those one-on-one fights, especially when we're getting into these team fights later into the mid game. We are a minute 40 for Dragon, and only in 4 minutes until Void Grubs. The Pantheon comes to say hi to Froggy and hold that mid lane. Setnu is just channeling. It looks like we're going to see some recalls mid-late on this stalemate. Bottom lane, again, is looking more fuel favor, which is really good to see. The overextension, the Sona shot does pick a little bit of health off Omega Boo, but the Ash shot goes wide. 2 arrows does pierce the Sona. Guru's shot goes very, very wide, doesn't tag the Ezreal. Horus is not looking good, but neither is Froggy. This fight can go either way, just who's gonna hit their shots. Airborne goes, and that's not looking good. That puts them down. They're at 84 health and slowly regenerating. Froggy does succeed in that fight, but you don't get the kill. Renekton and Garen going for another clash. HGK still on that back foot in these engagements. Goes through, the silence comes out. The hits go a little wide. They are just wave farming. Try to use the tower. They do get the level up. Setnu does manage to cut down Hui on the Froggy and take, or no, Froggy on the Hui, other way around. Guru gets a decent hit, but Omega Boo just gets shredded by the Ezreal, and they have to fall back. Guru has to try and tank some shots just to keep them alive. The bottom lane more in favor of Texas. The Dragon has spawned, so moments a couple casualties come out will determine if either of the teams is going to go for the first Drake Soul. Last time Fuel went for it, they had the entire time taking it, but at the last second, Texas was able to come in and steal the Drake. We could see that happen again, or it could be a mirror. You never know. It can go either way. Setnu takes out the Boo buff. HGK gets cut down under their own tower, and then the tower just lasers Renekton and blasts them down. A sacrifice was made, but was it worth it? It was unfortunate to see, but that's what happens.
Fuel's winning.
Fuel is winning. They were.
But I seem to have just walked in as... I see top lane.
So top lane of so far, Renekton and Garen were going a little bit toe-to-toe, but Renekton had the superiority in most of the engagements.
And now
and then Renekton got cut down cut down Garen.
In danger here.
And
He's
yeah.
just gonna get...
Bottom lane's holding better. Bottom lane's holding better.
I thought Fuel was winning. Fuel on my left.
Yeah, no,
That's on me.
Texas is like
Technically, it looks pretty severe, actually. Points up.
in the mid lane and the top lane. In the bottom lane, though, they were holding.
In trouble, but a nice flash away from that Pantheon ult. So that Grand Starfall not going to find much value. Is now Setnu looking in this bush, trying to find some sort of value. He has that Crescent Guard up, whereas this Pantheon will not have anything really of note. See what they can do. Ezreal now going to look for something. Sona uses that speed up. Setnu forces that flash. This is the Wind Becomes Lightning, though, unfortunately, as Guru is going to take so much damage. And now Setnu is in trouble as Ezreal just keeps firing back, fighting his tooth and nail as he wins out on that one. A 2v3 side of Texas A&M.
That's been what's been the exchange so far in the bottom lane, is that Boo and Guru's shots go a little bit wide, but then the Ezreal comes in and just slams everything into it and shreds Boo's health bar. That Guru has to come in, tank some of the damage, and push through.
We're just going to cut to a replay real quick so I can see what ended up happening while I was gone.
Yeah, you can see the Ignite went out, the Renekton
I was just going
got
to get a
shredded.
nice kill there. Now it's going to be looking to try to get some value going. Horus just barely missing that one out as he gets stunned and fleed. Trying to see if we could fix it, but
It doesn't look like it.
may be unable to do so.
So the overlay is going to be swapped.
Oh, wait, never mind. We figured
Well,
it
wait,
out.
well,
no, never
nope,
mind.
nope, nope,
I'm
nope.
being lied to. That's awesome. I love that. But
Okay.
we are just,
we
we're just
are-
going to look at us for
Yay!
a little bit, but I believe we are going to be heading back into the game any second now.
I don't have a watch.
I also don't have a watch. That's a good point. Sooner rather than later. Hopefully we don't miss too much action here.
Let's be honest. We probably missed like a pentakill. We probably
Yeah,
lost.
we missed a pentakill, guys. You would not believe it. But
Oh, we
we're
did.
back
I don't
in,
know.
and would you look at that? We missed nothing.
Yo, we
Drake's
did.
up, and so is Grubs. Both teams kind of looking towards this Drake. Both are pathing top, rather. Both be looking towards these Grubs. Interesting to favor Grubs, honestly, nowadays. I feel like Drake stacking is so much more powerful right now.
It is.
But there's going to be a fight on Grubs. Setnu might not even get one. He's going to have to win a smite fight.
Oh, got
if he
that.
loses that one, that's going to be the Pantheon. And that's going to be 3 Grubs to the side of Texas A&M. But now Fuel ping towards this Drake. They're going to look to try to beat it up. But I don't think they have enough time, and that should be a free objective. Who fights his way through this Ezreal. Seraphine comes by. The Encore, a little wide.
Oh wait, hold on.
The
There you
power
go.
core, but nice kill by the side of Boo and Guru. Grubs went the way of Texas A&M, but it looks like Drake should go the way of Fuel, as now Forrest walks on over and is ready to eat this with the Cho'Gath Beast.
And now
Get
they-
himself a stack.
Yep, and here we go. The dinosaur is hungry. We're gonna just tweet it out, and it looks like, yeah, no, Texas cannot get there in time. Nom nom nom. There you go. Red team takes the mountain, Drake.
Fuel picking up the Cho'Gath so they don't lose a smite ever again. And that's going to be the first Drake on the side of Fuel. And already this game is going a lot better. Because we're not down 5K at 10 minutes.
No, we're down 1K.
But there is another kill in the top lane. Somebody's going to have to come help HDK.
Yeah, that
He
Renekton is
in
becoming
trouble.
dangerous. The Renekton literally cut him down under his own tower and then died to the tower. Just this Renekton does not care.
Tower diving is a lot of the time is worth it 1-for-1 if you get the wave in. It forces them to lose a wave because Garen's going to be running TP, and you'll be able to get back before he can push it. So a good win there. Froggy now looking to try to get something going here. He does actually, he's falling down in the CS, but he gets the kill with the Arcane Comet. Forrest just not respecting it, as now the Pantheon comes block, gets a kill with that. That
Just
Crescendo
artillery
from-
strike.
Oh no, pulls up the Crescendo, gets that kill with the root on top of the Pantheon stun, and that's going to be Carnage now. Setnu looks to try to get something going, but he is well out of his element as he overextends and
got
forced to
stunned and
flash
shredded.
away. And Fuel start to falter. A&M find their footing, and they're starting to get a hold of this game yet again.
HDK is going to try and go for a flank to stop the Renekton, but the problem is the Renekton is leading heavily. You can see here HDK cannot fight them one-on-one. The damage output is just not there yet. And there's no even point even saying like where that was going to go. That was just Renekton all the way.
That was Renekton through and through, and it really does feel like Fuel. It's the opposite of last game, right? Where top lane was winning for Fuel. Now, top lane is in real trouble.
Bottom
bot
lane
lane
is-
trying their best to get some sort of kill, but Sona's going to survive, and she'll be able to heal herself up slowly but surely with that W. There's not going to be any lethal there. No jungler to help out here bot lane, as he is currently on his drugs. Fuel are in trouble. Pantheon now roams up into the river, and he's going to look to try to threaten something on to Ember of Fuel. It looks to be actually the Raptors are going to be fought here, contested. Ooh, Setnu, I think, is forced to give these.
Hold on,
in a
hold on.
trade,
No, because oh wait.
there is a Cho'Gath there, but what good is a Cho'Gath when there is a Hui who just
No way.
gets that root. Smite comes out. Setnu will get 2 mini Raptors as consolation prizes, but it's not really what
What
he
do the
wants.
Raptors do again?
They're just money.
Oh, there's just
They're
it's
jungler equivalent of like minions.
okay.
They're one of the vending camps they have to farm. But it's EXP and it's money. That's something that now Setnu does not have access to. They're going to be on respawn, and likely Pantheon's going to be right there yet again on the respawn timer. Buckshot comes out from Boo to spot out any danger for himself. He does spot out this Pantheon. He has to be careful. The Grand Starfall is up, and this Pantheon has found so much value with this ultimate so far.
And as these engagements continue to go in the top lane, once again, Renekton chasing down HTK. In the mid lane, Cho'Gath is taking an advance. Has to be careful because the mid laner Froggy is coming out to play. They are up 1 level to this Cho'Gath. It's a 11-9 in level difference. Level 11 Renekton to a level 9 Garen. again, you just can't do anything against that. You gotta level up. Froggy is chasing down, but does manage to survive and dodge most of Froggy's abilities.
Yeah, troublesome though, as he's starting to fall. Every member of Fuel is behind in one way or another except for the spot lane. It's still not insurmountable, but again, it's another 5k gold lead at 13 minutes. Feels like it's the same story as last one. In this game, Texas A&M cleanly outscales the side of Fuel. They're going to be in trouble for sure here, as I think your saving grace is the fact that you have a Drake right now, right? So you stop that soul from being collected if the side of Texas A&M starts to stack their own Drakes. We'll see what they end up doing, because right now, top lane, not a pretty sight.
It's just a
Jungle,
massacre.
not a pretty sight. Mid lane's not really that pretty of a sight either. You have a 2-kill Seraph or Ash, but 50 gold lead.
And that
Ash Arrow comes in mid, goes wide, so does the Rupture as Horus is
Oh,
not long for this world
no.
as the Crescendo comes out from the Sona, and that's going to pick up the kill with the Q from Froggy from this way.
That's
Troublesome.
at least another level up for Boo to get them to level 9. The next dragon has spawned, and it looks like Texas.
Fuel forced to get this Drake, I think. You know, you throw a Hawkshot, Guru just kind of like pokes his head in, looks for a little bit of something, but there is no contesting this. It's going to be a
3,
give
2,
for the
1.
side of Fuel. As 1-1 Drakes for the situation now, but Grubs in favor of Texas A&M, Gold in favor of Texas A&M, Plates well in favor of Texas, as top lane has already taken a full turret. Mid lane has been hitting turrets. Off's been hitting plates as well. Just hard situation as Pantheon pings on in. That is the grand starfall as Guru hits a 2-man encore, but what good is it when he's already dead? Boo now gonna get hit by that arcane shift and the Mystic Bolt.
Oh my
One
God.
more is going to be enough as a double kill comes in for the Ezreal of Texas A&M. Horus now may be in trouble as he gets hit by the Spiraling Despair as Froggy starts to poke down this giant dinosaur.
At least Set News going for Shelly. That's one thing. It looks like Fuel at least have the Rift Herald. There you go. I'm just trying to always look on the bright side of life. Monty Python.
Yeah, but the bright side of life right now is looking dim and it's looking dark.
Extremely.
It's troublesome here for the side of Fuel. 15 minutes in this game and it feels like another insurmountable lead almost. As every team fight has gone the way of Texas A&M. The damage is going the way of Texas. Pantheon may fall here though, as Horus Flash gets the kill, but now can he feel his teammate? Another Rupture goes wide. Setnu uses that Crescent Guard, flashes away. Horus and Setnu fight back, but Froggy lives as there is no feast available.
God.
With how they played it, I thought Horus had feast available. It would have been perfect, but he just doesn't have the feast. And Fuel, yet again, fall in the 2v2.
And now 15-4, a 6.6k gold lead for the side of Texas A&M. And it is looking just like game 1, grim. However, HDK is slowly increasing in level towards this Renekton. They just gotta keep building up. They get stunned out, just the damage output. Again, this is looking more slightly favored in their way, but they do go to channel out. Chase down that Renekton. Not gonna go for it in the mid lane. Trogath is at least actually going to assist. They might assist HDK in going for a pincer. Ezreal and Sona holding off on this bot lane as Guru and Boo hold on their end. It is 2 towers down for the side of Fuel. No towers fallen for Texas. Not looking good still.
It is not looking good. As again, scaling, I feel like it's just very favored out of Texas A&M. Team fights are going the way. I mean, I said Pantheon and Renekton had to get through the early game, and I'd argue they did more than get them through the early game. They have thrived in this early game here, as both of them are really just kind of running this map. Same as the Hui. The Seraphine, Sona has some kills as well. Horus, another death for him.
Rip the dinosaur.
He's having some problems here up against Froggy. Pantheon ult comes in bot lane just to get the clear on the wave and try to pick off the bot lane here, but maybe he walks into his own demise. Zetnu is here, pressing guard comes out, but that shield blocks so much damage. The Encore comes in, it's a two-man Encore as Boo starts to get some damage going. The root comes out, but a true shot barrage does so much damage. The Mystic Bolt and this Ezreal is unstoppable. A triple kill for the Ezreal of Texas A&M. I think that's the final nail in the coffin for Fuel, and that really does hit you in the heart. Hits them in the heart for sure, as they are
bright side
just
is
so
it's not match point.
far behind in this game. They are so far behind in this series. Feels like they are just not having the time they needed. They're not, the game's not going the way that they wish it would.
And now turrets are falling left, right, and center. No, seriously, they're falling left, right, and center. Froggy cuts down the Cho'Gath again. We are back on the doorstep of Fuel's Nexus. 20-5 in kills at a 9K gold lead.
It is. There's not much else to say.
This is dire. And it's only going to get worse.
Is it
map
less
3.
of a gold league than last game? I think so.
No, I think it's more.
It ended with 12K.
Okay,
at
so
23 minutes.
yes, at 23:33 was when the last game ended.
34.
23:34, yeah, because they had to wait for the Jinx rocket.
But, I mean, this one, it's rough. I mean, if you see a 9K gold lead at 20 minutes, you're not feeling happy about it, that's for sure. Hopefully no one has any way to actually see the gold lead in game. But you can just feel it with the items, right? You can feel it. You can feel it with how the gameplay is. I mean, there was a Soda pushing Guru out of his own jungle. He's forced to flash over the wolf wall.
Literally just said, hippity hoppity, get out of my property. Producer's telling
a
us.
7K gold lead in game one at the same time. So it is a better lead here. More dominant game. That's because not a single lane for the side of Fuel is winning.
And
Ocean
now,
Drake. Another Ocean Soul, another Ocean map here for the side of Texas A&M. But I don't believe this one's going to go to Soul.
it's probably not going to go to Soul. Red team has summoned Shelly. That is Fuel bringing out Shelly. Ezreal is godlike, though, taking another kill to their name. Froggy gets rescued by the Pantheon. Boo gets cut down. Horus is in the bot lane. They have to retreat. Garrett and Shelly are chasing down this Renekton. A lot of damage comes out, and that is the tower potentially going to fall here as Renekton just says, I'm gone.
Zetnu going to be the courier for that Herald there, as Shelly is going to get a crash. They're going to get a turret. Well, they'll see if they can get another one. Another Shelly crash, another carry, another courier, you would, for the Shelly, but that one's going to be HDK this time. The gold lead hits 10K officially. But the turret plates exist. Hey, a turret got taken by Fuel. That's a win.
That's a win. We got a turret.
It might be 5 turrets to 1, but we don't look at that.
And a 10.4K gold lead.
We
don't look at that. No.
What we look at is the fact that they have a mountain drake.
Yes. In one
They got
tower.
a turret. They have a 3-3 Ash. And then we don't hit tab.
Yeah, we just don't hit that.
See, I mean, it's Baron time. Zetnu's going to use one smite on that Raptor, so he's going to be unable to use this next smite for anything except for this Baron that is up soon. Finds a Miracle Steal. This game is not over. But it feels like if Texas A&M at this state of the game decide to take a 50-50, they are making a mistake. They have no reason to even let that happen. They have so much more power in their kits, in their characters, that they can just walk through a team of Fuel.
Their armory is insane, and Omega Boo just gets blasted, and now they're legendary. That's even just that one Cal Seed they're now going for. You see Soda, Froggy, and Ezreal all going for the Pantheon. The entire team is going, and look how fast they're chewing through this Baron's health. It's already at half. It's already down to 7,000. We're at 6,000. Zetnu and Guru are there. They're going to try and go through. The Renekton goes. and
See
Sendu
what I
is
mean? There's
absolutely
no reason to
shredded.
ever
They
make a
flash
50-50.
out.
There is a Renekton that can just completely zone. There's an Ezreal that does far too much damage
And
for his
just gets
own
blasted.
good. As the Ezreal hits 10
And the Baron
kills,
falls.
the 80 carry of Texas A&M hits 10 and 1. And the Pantheon finds Horus, but maybe Horus is the one that found the Pantheon. He tries to flash behind the shield, but instead he flashes a
Here
little too
comes
far and he
Dinosaur.
gets
Here
caught.
comes Dinosaur.
Horus looks to try to flash behind that shield of the Pantheon, but he gets a little bit too far. A shutdown on the board for HDK. Horus tries to recall, but that's a slice, and that's the dice.
The Dinosaur
for
falls.
the Renekton. Ezreal picks off the Garen inside the blue jungle of Texas A&M. As Boo walks on in, wondering where his team has gone. Wondering what has happened on the map while he was gone in the bot lane.
They're all dead. That's what happened. As Texas has now 2 souls, they have Baron. Pantheon cuts down Guru again. Is this Ezreal yet to die?
Yeah, 1 death. Remember, he died early game.
Okay, yeah. But is he yet to die?
Not since he's got kills, no.
Exactly. It's like, what do you do? Pantheon is in Fuel's jungle taking their buffs because
Again,
they can just walk into it like it's nothing.
700 gold shutdown. That's a 1k gold shutdown. Almost a 1k gold shutdown on the Renekton as well. If they can get these, there's hope.
Hey, we're already now 2 minutes more than last game. Yippee!
We have 1 minute.
Oh, I thought we were like 24, like 50 or something. Can't number.
Fuck there.
I know. I just can't number.
That's worse. You normally me when I'm like trying to calculate the time between things. That's just the number on the screen. That's just reading. Dragon. Apparently, not just the Fuel team is having problems. So are the casters.
Yep.
As another kill comes in for HDK onto the Sona, and he just gets away. I would love to know how that happened.
And it looks like this Renekton might actually be in danger if they decide to pincer it. Okay, we got a Dinosaur, we got Ash, and we have Sendu.
And that
this
is a
could be the
shutdown
fall of
possible.
Renekton.
That's a shutdown that Fuel can capture.
Wait,
Setnu has
there
another
you
E,
go!
And that's a 1k gold shutdown in the pockets of Setnu.
But Pantheon is just 1v1ing this Drake right
Drake
now. Froggy
will
shows
fall
up.
for the side of, yeah, Drake's going to go the way of Texas. I mean, what else can you do now? Fuel set, they're going to be setting their eyes on this Ezreal, looking for that shutdown if they can. That's another 1k gold, and that would make the 9k gold lead, an 8k gold lead, and then maybe even possibly a 7k gold lead. Wow! And now that still is a 7k gold lead.
Yep.
But when you're staring down the face of an 11k gold lead, 7k feels so good.
It does. It's a lot better than having an 11k gold lead, that's for sure. Okay, we're clawing our way back. Like I said in map 1, seems a lot more viable now. We actually got our talents at least dug into the foundation this time. Just can't overcommit or make simple mistakes.
Feel like that is inevitable at this point.
27 to 8 still.
What else can you really do when? I mean,
I don't
these
know.
are the ones that's really hard to cast, right? It's always the ones where it's just complete stompage. Pantheon's GA is forced by Horus and HDK, but now the Renekton's here. That's a level 18 Renekton with the Dominus. And he is going to cut down Horus, and now HDK may be the next to fall, but instead they look their eyes towards Boo. This Ezreal doesn't take damage, nor does he, and he deals far too much. As he does get hit by the Encore. Guru tries to escape, but it doesn't matter as the Mystic Bolt finds its mark. Pantheon and the rest of Texas A&M will pick off Setnu after the GA. HDK survives. That might just be the game, folks. As that is a almost ace, a 4K. And there's
we're at a
4
12K
members.
gold lead.
There's all 5 members of Texas A&M alive. Now HDK looks to try to pick off Froggy, but what good is that when the Spiraling Despair hits? He cannot find his silence. Froggy survives, and Ace comes out. And with 9 seconds left for Boo, with 1 second left for Horus, it might not be over, but it sure does feel like it. 14.8k gold lead, 15k gold lead here from the side of Texas A&M, as they are just going to get a triple inhib. They're going to start to knock on the doors. Rather than knock on the doors, they're just going to take this Nexus and take the heart of Fuel with them as they are going to be heading themselves to match point and grand finals point, series point.
Hold on, a shutdown! We got the Ezreal!
The Ezreal does fall, but it goes towards the Seraphine. However, an overextension may have been made by the side of Texas A&M. Health bars, though, look a little bit too healthy. Pantheon finds his, and, you know, maybe we got one, but
Blue team has scored an ace.
That's a 16 goal
that was
lead.
an ace. Pick off the Ezreal, but everyone else is just so strong at this point in the game.
Oh wait, well
Garen
here comes
in, and I think
HDK.
HDK is here to deliver one more death. Sends that Demacian Justice into the shield of Pantheon. That is going to be a 2-0 lead for Texas A&M. They are now on match point, series point, grand finals point, and knocking Fuel out, and may just knock Fuel out of contention for nationals as well. We actually heard coming from Fuel, this is a must-win match for them. If they get second, they are they would be battling for 8th place for nationals, but Humber is 2-0 up in their series right now. If Humber wins out and Fuel doesn't, Fuel loses their spot, and Fuel will not be going to nationals. So we'll see if they can climb their way back, if they can claw their way back into the series. It always starts with one, but it's a reverse sweep now for Fuel if they want any hope of this one continuing. But it's not been looking good. These past 2 games have been rough. Taking a short break before that. Don't miss game 3.
bottom now.
Yeah, you can see us. Well,
Yay.
well. Game 3 is upon us. The draft has started.
I think
We
it's going
have
to be
an
the same
update, though.
bands.
We do have an update. Sutek is in for Santi. So, he finally got home. So the other sub. So the thing with Fuel League this year is we have 3 jungle top. There are 2 jungle top subs and a jungle sub.
Okay.
And no other roles. Now, thankfully, the role we've needed to be subbed a lot has always been jungle. So it's worked out a little bit. But we'll see how Sutek does here. Fuel takes the same side. It's back to red side. Bans slightly differ. You see the Ari ban leaving the Mel open. Does Texas pick that here?
Well, we'll find out in 8 seconds, because Texas first pick as per the usual. They could go for this, because now with the Champions League, they're going for Nocturne.
Fuel has to take Oriana here and now. If that is a Nocturne Ori thinking here, Fuel has to pick
They
Ori
have to
away.
pick Oriana
It's
now.
also a strong pick for Horus. It's one of the best mid laners in the game. My question is, what is the jungle pool left open? I truthfully cannot tell what we're really looking at. We'll see Fanshawe, or Fuel rather, be picking. I expect probably a response to
Lulu.
Lulu. I like Lulu. Could be Twitch Lulu. Could be Cog Lulu. Could be one of these fun Lulu comps that Fuel likes to play. They have a lot of hyper carry, 80 carries possible. Boo decided to try to take things into his own hands here. But I think you have to pick Oriana.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. I agree. They have to pick something that will counter into this Nocturne, because Fuel needs to bring everything to the table. This is game 3. This is hot seat. This is do or die, make or break.
There's really no other way to put it.
Jinx.
Jinx can be picked up, but that means that the Nocturne Ori is available for the side of Texas. If we're going to give Texas Nocturne Ori, we need to have a pick in the mid lane that warrants it. Otherwise, I feel like this is just going to be a repeat of the last 2 games, where you're just giving them a strong mid jungle 2v2, which is what happened game 1. It happened game 2. Feels like it's just going to happen again, where Nocturne Ori is going to be picked. It's going to be a strong combo, unless they decide to go for a different comp. Now, that's going to be a Zeri. Zeri would normally be tied up with a Yumi. You're getting flashbacks.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Who won that game, though?
We did.
Exactly.
We won that
Fuel
game, but
won
the
that
Zeri,
game, but
we
that
did
Zeri
win
may
that
or
game.
may not have had 17 kills.
Yeah, that Zeri was a problem.
Now, we'll see what the Zeri ends up being partnered up with. Typically, you'd see a Yumi to match the scaling of a Lulu. Zeri
Thresh
is going to be a very interesting comp. Now, Fuel has the opportunity to take the Nocturne for them, or for the Oriana for themselves. They could also take a different mid laner if they so choose. But again, the pool has been pinched fairly deep here.
I mean, if we want to go for unorthodox, bring Mordekaiser and then get ready for that ult, and then just send the most dangerous person to the shadow round if you got to. Get them rid of a fight, at least temporarily.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a horrible idea, right? It could be
Oriana.
Ori is gonna get picked. That's the last of. I've been naming the trio of Horus characters. That's the last of them. If Fuel wins this, I don't know where we go from here. But I'm excited because it's uncharted territory, I think. But Fuel has to win one, and it's been a struggle these last 2 games for sure. Same bands I expect going to be coming out on these last 2. You're going to see the Jax. You're going to see the Mel. Now, it's not going to be a Lulu ban because that's not available anymore, so it's probably going to be a Camille ban. Yep, the Jax Camille, Lux Mel. Exact same bands.
Yep.
Same state of game. Now, Fuel going to have to pick their jungler. I don't know what's really open, especially something that really likes to play with the Ori. Now, Mundo is where my mind immediately goes as far as characters that are strong into the comp of Texas. However, I think you might need some CC. Essa might be okay.
Aatrox.
That's a flex pick between top and jungle. I don't mind it. I do not mind it. We'll see how that one ends up being played as, again, Liss is going to be the pick for mid lane. Lissandra Nocturne, that's a strong 2v2. That is a very utility 2v2. They are going to be playing on side lane. They can kind of blow up someone. Lissandra will ult you, that Frozen Tomb, and then that Nocturne will be able to fly on in with that Paranoia, find his value. See what the rest of the comp, they're going to go the Syndra, a stronger lane into the Oriana, able to carry a little bit more, but is more vulnerable than the Lissandra.
And with this, we got Nocturne, Zeri, Thresh, Syndra. What will Scion is going to be the closing out for
Told you this
this
guy plays
roster.
tank, right?
He-
That's a tank.
yeah, this guy plays tanks.
On Aatrox is, I believe, normally Aatrox favored, but maybe we'll see if Fuel decides to pick a
If
different
you
top
are
laner
able
here.
to scale to it, because last time in game 2, our Garen was not able to match the Renekton.
Yeah, but the Scion Aatrox matchup, I believe, is Aatrox favored. But we'll see if this Aatrox ends up going jungle, because I think that is a Sutek specialty. Sutek's more of a top laner, but we have to have him play jungle, because that is how the roles end up playing out. Last ban.
Darius.
And HTK has decided that with the fate of the world on his shoulders, he's gonna pick Darius, the most feast or famine character. The noob stomper is kind of what he's considered, right? When you don't know what you're doing against him, he runs a game. He is very good in low elo. He's very good in that flat, low rank. The higher you go, though, people know how to beat this thing. But it is gonna have a fairly free lane into the Scion. We'll see if it can scale up, but it needs to snowball, just like the other picks that HTK has picked. We'll see if it's like the Olaf game, if it's like a Garrett game, or if it's like a game from last week where he had an actual snowball. Because he's going to need it, and Fuel is going to need a snowball here. They're going to need a win. They want any hope of keeping their run alive, keeping their playoff, they're maybe getting that championship, or even qualifying to nationals. But again, I have to take a short break before that as we load into game 3. So don't go anywhere.
to Summoner's Rift.
So, with everything on the line, this is Fuel Esports' final chance
Has spawned.
to stay in this series. They need to reverse sweep everything. Because we also just found out about Humber's results.
Yeah, so Fuel may not even have the chance at Nationals, even if they win this one. Because the team that they were fighting for 8th place 3-0'd their opponent. So, not looking ideal for the side of Fuel here for Nationals hopes. But maybe they can win this series if they can start to find their footing. Horus is on this Orianna, but he's losing that early trade into Froggy. Rest of Fuel looking to try to make their last stand, and they are planning to go out on a Darius pick. Speaking of which, they're invading, actually. A little bit of an invade here
Oh, yeah.
on the enemy jungler, forcing the flash. Somehow, Nocturne had the flash. He's now on his Raptors, as a nice early play has gone the way of Fuel.
Okay, just slow and steady wins the race, you know? That's what you gotta do in order to win. Even gold, we're only a minute 40 in.
Darius HDK going to be down EXP, though, here against the Scion, as he forced to play a little bit away as he was, pushed out. Or he was helping his jungler with that invade. Therefore, Scion's able to catch that wave. HDK should be able to stabilize. He will be slightly behind in CS, though, but honestly a full wave behind. So that's going to be a little bit rough to deal with. But Darius does beat the Scion in the fight. See, Jinx, Lulu versus Thresh.
Oh!
A big early hook for the bone plating is going to keep him safe. Only half of his health will fall. He tries to trade back just a little bit with that pick. That Fey magic. See if they can keep doing this.
Honestly, I'm surprised Boo picked Jinx. Usually in these last ditch efforts, the Twitch came out really well. Remember the last time when Boo played Twitch in a last ditch effort?
Jinx is just a lot safer of a blind pick.
Oh, hold on.
Speaking of fights, though, speaking of this Jinx, fighting back into the Zeri, Sutek has hovered bot lane. He's going to look for a gank here as the Zeri may be in trouble. The flash the flash chain looks to try to find some value, but Zeri will be able to escape by just pressing the ghost button. Thresh burned his flash. But it's a trade for this Aatrox's flash, and he's going to lose the Scuttle Crab unless he can get here in time, but he's down.
Nocturne versus the Aatrox.
The lane is going to be...
Did the Nocturne just parry him?
The Nocturne's going to get pushed out. Yeah, Nocturne has a spell shield. His base kit. But with the push of the bot lane. But Zeri might just be in trouble as Guru is going to flash forward. The auto does not get the kill, though. Nocturne. Somehow this Scuttle Crab has still not fallen, but the first blood goes the way of the
Texas.
But a nice trade out onto the Nocturne. Sutek gets that pick. But it is going to go first blood to Froggy as a flash killed Horus. Decay trading into Baby Sage here. He's going to lose out on this one. The Darius, Feast or Famine character, currently starving in this lane.
I have no words, really. We're now even, 1-1, 4 minutes in, only a 100k gold lead difference favoring Texas. Everything's going to come down to the objectives. We have Dragon in 50 and Void Grubs in 3 minutes, 350. It's all about just building up and that light grind until the first, and Froggy takes down Sukte.
Yeah, so Tech's gonna fall to that Syndra, who again, I mean, this mid laner has been the real problem for Fuel. This just seems to be starting yet again. That's a 2-0 lead for this Syndra. Bot lane, though, has a good, solid lead, slight lead here for the side of Fuel. Who gonna hopefully try to scale up. This Jinx can really take over a game, right? True hyper carries both of these bot laners. If they are ahead, they can carry a game. We'll see, though, as there's a lot of tools for Texas A&M and for Fuel both to counter this. Who's going to take that Ultra Shock Laser with that shield from the Lulu. HK looks to trade back a little bit here, using that. Is trying to get some damage with this bleed, trying to farm his way back up. He's evened out the CS just a little bit, but somehow, some way, Froggy gets a 3rd kill on the board.
Cutting down the Orianna. HDK has to fall back. It looks like they might try to go for this dragon play. Unless the Nocturne's just going to solo it.
There is just no will or way for Fuel to stop this play here as the Syndra is just running this game.
They are, Froggy.
A 1.5k gold lead for Froggy at 5 minutes into the game. Every other lane is winning for Fuel slightly in some way, but the gold for bot or for mid is just far too big to deal with right now.
And the Cloud Drake
Taurus
falls.
is going to need some bailing out. He's going to need his jungler or his support to roam over, but this Lulu doesn't want to leave the Jinx side because the Jinx is the carry this game. But your Orianna has fallen very far behind. Sutek shows bot lane here. He's on vision. Zarino flash though. This could be a pick. And instead they're going to hunt this Thresh. But that Chain of Corruption, that Infernal Change is not going to find anything there. He'll be able to get away.
They do manage to get away. The first Cloud Drake goes for the side of Texas, and it's slowly looking like a mirror of the past 2 games unless Fuel can get a foothold and start building up a counter to this.
And the Jinx is in a good spot. Aatrox is fairly solid, right? He's even right now with this Nocturne. He's a little bit behind the CS, but he's even on because of that 1 kill he has. HDK is doing, he's not behind, which is crucial, I think, in this lane, really. But we'll see. Again, it really is just this mid laner right now, and that is how the fights are going to be dictated. If the Syndra is there, Fuel cannot fight. They have to play scared as Froggy finds a 4th kill. And I want to highlight, these kills have come without even having to use the Syndra.
Yeah, no. This is a dangerous frog. However, HDK is trying to get a point on the board, but has to fall back. HDK is in the same issue that he had last game. He is not scaled enough to actually bring in this damage. As you said, they are a faster Feast character.
Yeah, Feast are like it's just struggling right now, right? But like he is ahead slightly. Even CS as a Darius into a Scion is not winning for the Darius because Darius does not scale as hard as a Scion. Scion is the infinitely scales, right? He's going to be completely unkillable later on if he's able to continue to play how he is right now.
Those poor minions just being fed right into him. It's just not enough. The grubs do spawn though. You will try to go for them and try to at least get the grubs on the board, or at least take one to prevent a 3-grub claim that Texas is able to do in the first 2 games. Or is the Nocturne just going to go in and just shred all of them like they're nothing?
Nocturne, honestly, Texas kind of walk wherever they want because of how strong their Syndra is right now. Mid has permanent Prio as Horus just cannot lane into Froggy. That's a 2-level lead for Froggy here, who is running this one right now. On the plus side for Fuel,
strike?
On the plus side for Fuel, the entire gold lead of Texas is in this Syndra. You can kill this Syndra a couple times. The game all of a sudden looks playable.
So, just, focus
You need to get on this. You need to kill this Syndra. That's the problem.
Did they just launch a minion at the other minions?
Yes, they can carry minions.
Okay.
You can also carry pants, blue buff and red buff.
Okay.
Nocturne ult comes out. It's going to be in mid lane as Sutek will fall. Horus is not going to, but doesn't matter as Sutek is alone in the mid lane. A flash was burned out of Froggy and Nocturne as that was a nice counter gank by Nocturne. I mean, Sutek just trying to make something happen in the mid lane, right? The Orianna Shockwave comes out. Scatter of the Week, though, finds Horus a big chunk. And on this next Q ult, I mean, Horus may just die. He has to play so scared.
They have to play time, and there it is. They have to run now.
Does survive with his tail between his legs. He will live with 19 HP, and he decides to stay for one more minion. Now he will back off. But I mean, does surviving matter when you're like he can't play lane? He'll TP back, or he walks back to lane and he dies. His reset, his base gets canceled because they're now looking for a play on mid lane. Maybe Sutek can find something here. Thresh finds something. Froggy picks off Horus in the meantime.
A turret
and
took out
somehow
Froggy.
it's an execute. That is horrible for Fuel.
A turret takes down the frog.
That's not. That means they don't capitalize on that play. They
Nope.
should have got, if they got the money from Froggy there, it would have been so much better for Fuel. The money is still there, right? There is still that shutdown on the board, but that's a lot of gold that's not in your pockets for what should have been. Xerxes might be in trouble here unless he knows how to do this E. He does do half of it, but he flashes in. He's just going to fight his way out of this. But Boo will not fall. He picks off a second here as Boo starts to climb his way into this game. Again, every member of Fuel is ahead except for this, except for Jungle and this mid lane. Thresh will get the pick on Boo as he overstays his welcome just that little bit. But again, it's not horrible for Fuel. Boo is gonna pick up this Kraken Slayer. HDK was able to escape certain doom. But now Nocturne ults on top lane. But this is an invitation for Fuel and for Sutek to get this Drake.
And they do manage to, unless...
Nope.
Nope, yeah, it looks like this is going to be claimed as they do take the Mountain Drake. So both teams now have a Drake on the board.
Now looks to try to get something going. He's trying to find something onto a player. Again, the Syndra is flashless. That is the pick target for the side of Fuel. Orianna has the shockwave up, but his health bar is so low. That is a full Luden's Echo to the side of Froggy, and that's another kill and another death for Horus, who is having...
He's not having a good time.
He's not. I mean, Froggy is just completely running him over. Every time he's on the screen, he's dead.
It's just, hey, bang. I'm here again, bang. I'm alive again, bang. It's just no moment at all. They don't get a chance to get a foothold.
Love that, by the way. Need more of that. Secondly, if there's just really, I mean, Fuel is down 3.5k gold. 3k of that is a Syndra. Is the mid laner. Again, if Fuel can kill this Syndra, the game is not over. The problem is killing the Syndra. Jinx, Boo kills off Zeri yet again. I mean, Boo is having a fantastic game so far. He should be able to pick off Thresh as well.
There you go.
A double kill in the bot lane. That's your win con. Fuel just needs to play to heal for your Jinx. The problem is the Syndra will one-shot him in the blink of an eye.
Get rid of the Syndra, you'll be fine.
This is a battle of the It's a battle of Syndra versus Jinx.
Poll in chat who dies first.
On
Jinx
the side
or
of
Syndra.
Fuel, this Orianna's very behind. On the side of Texas A&M, they aren't that far behind, other than, you know, the own 80 carry the Zeri, who's down 1.3k gold.
And it's looking steady, like it's 10-5, so it's only now like a 5 kill difference, but we've seen in the past 2 games how quickly that can change. And with this now, HTK still trying to clash into the Scion. They don't have the damage output unless they just keep this stun block. This is what you want to see, and that's the damage you want to see.
Does he burn to death? He
No.
will barely survive off the bleed. HTK not quite having his damage numbers there. Nocturne gonna force the flash out of Sutek as the Zeri came in flying out of nowhere. That's a flash burned for nothing for Fuel.
Here's the
Froggy
Syndra
is
hiding
here,
in the bush.
hiding in this bush, gets poked out a little bit by that command attack, and what do you? Nocturne now ults on into Orianna, but he's able to get away, but it doesn't matter as he's just a sacrifice. Sutek forced to fall. Froggy now chases the Scatter of the Weak, finds its mark. But he will get out. The Dark Sphere not doing enough damage there. Horus will finally survive a situation against this Syndra. Scatter of the Weak goes wide. The hook goes wide on Guru. Boo, again, he needs to be the one, but he needs like 2-3 items to really start to carry these games. This Syndra is about to have Shadow Flame. He's about to have 2 items at 14 minutes, and that is just Boo getting completely one-shot here. He has to kite his heart out. He has to play the best League of Legends he's ever played, and he's doing his best at doing so. He picks off the Thresh, but the Scatter of the Weak is too good. Guru cannot find it as the Syndra finds 2. It was so well played, but finally Froggy gets the better of Boo.
Ribbit, you did it. It's just not enough, and it's just going to make this fight even harder now for the side of Fuel. That's a dangerous recovery.
That's going to be HDK in trouble as, again, the jungler of Texas A&M finds another gank onto a member of Fuel. Top is losing now. It is obviously losing.
I mean, the Zeri gets
A
blasted.
1-for-1 on the Zeri, but I don't know if that's worth it for either of them, to be honest.
Oh, and Sutek
will
gets cut
die,
down.
just walking in, to be honest, face checking a Nocturne that he knew was there. A little bit of a misplay there.
Yeah, we're having
Now,
some advancement in the mid lane.
Who is the carry? I wonder how much gold he has currently in his inventory, right? Of course, it's something we can't see
No.
with his overlay. That would be my old overlay.
Yeah.
Blood base game. But I mean, because I feel like he should be coming up on his next item soon. I'm not sure what he's. I guess I'm assuming it's Hex Optics, but I don't know what else this is to.
Texas
That's
claims Shelly.
still used. I think it's going to be Hex Optics. See how this goes for Boo. A second turret falls to Froggy as the gold lead balloons to 7K. You want to take a guess? It's 4K. By the way,
Yeah, I'm just trying. Right now, it's not looking good. Rich, doing math?
You just have that 7.
7.1.
Oh, never mind. Actually, Zeri and Thresher up as well. I just forgetting to stop. I hit a Gray. I thought Blue would be the team.
Oh.
It's Gray for the amount, less than a certain amount. I think it's Gray.
Okay.
Blue. Not sure. But never mind. Every member of Texas is now ahead in gold somehow.
The Rift Herald has been
I
summoned.
have no clue how this Zeri is ahead in gold on this Jinx. As there is a fight on this Drake, by the way.
Barely.
As
There is something going on here.
Looks like there is a large
Oh,
fight
yeah.
here.
Froggy's legendary,
Who
and
does get on
Nocturne's
get
on a
touched
rampage.
by this Nocturne. The Nocturne will fly on in. Sutek cannot pick one off.
Zeri
as
gets
every
taken
member
down.
of Fuel will fall, except for HTK, who walks away under his tier 2 turret. The game falls out of control in the moment, in the blink of an eye.
And now with a 20-6 kill lead, the second Drake falling to Texas with a 9.4K gold lead, 9.5K gold lead now. It is just looking yet again, just like what happened in games 1 and 2.
Is looking.
This is looking dire.
To be honest, I think that might be the understatement of the century.
Yeah.
This has been.
What's worse than dire?
It's wrong. To be honest, this is just. This is a.
I keep forgetting we're not blue. I'm so used to us being blue.
Oh, we've been red all 3 games actually.
Yeah.
By the way. But I mean, Sutek's just kind of threatening this style, but I'm pretty sure he can just walk out safely. HDK
Going
fights in
after
on
the
Froggy.
Froggy.
Maybe he can get a kill here actually. Nah, that'd be. Sutek's gonna be in trouble as he's gonna get hit by that play. Now the chain looking for it to see if they can find it. Zeri is in trouble though. Boo, the super Mega Dex Rocket will get blocked. Mipsage gonna be taking so much damage, and he just does not look killable. Zeri may fall to another auto attack as this Jinx has gotten excited, and the next kill may fall, but a flash out will be enough. Boo trying his hardest to carry his team over the finish line, to even bring them the hope of a next game, but he just doesn't have the items or the lead to do so at this moment.
Nope, and HDK still trying to chase down this Froggy
I don't
in
think
the jungle.
he's the one getting chased. I don't think
Nope.
he's the one chasing. I
Yeah,
think it was the other way around. Not often do you see a Syndra chasing a Darius out of a jungle. But that's what happens when this Syndra has a 5K gold lead. It's 11-1-3 with 188 CS.
Because that's what you want.
Almost 10 CS a minute. With 11 kills.
Boo,
Again, Boo.
chasing down this Thrush.
He's now going towards his ED or his Runons. Problem is, I feel like you needed an IE. I feel like you needed a LDR. I think you need damage if you're Boo at this point. We'll see though, this build find what he needs. I think he wants PD because this Nocturne getting on him means if he has PD, he can actually get away. I can kite the members of Texas a little bit better. He thinks maybe I can just out-mechanics them, right? Damage doesn't matter if I just hit them more. We'll see, though, as right now, 10K gold lead. Baron is up. Drake in 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Sometimes you just need the simple mind. You know, big numbers mean big damage. That's what you got to do. Increase your damage and mark your hits. The other thing is just a lot of the shots from Fuel's skills are going a little bit wide. Boo, on the other hand, is able to get those really decent picks. They just got to focus fire on those main threats, especially in those team fights. You got to get rid of that mid laner. You got to get rid of Froggy.
It's Froggy. Legendary yet again. Picks off Horus yet again. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's even worth it. I think Horus is not giving much gold on kill anymore. As the side of Fuel, they're falling behind yet again. I think at this point, what you need to do if you're Fuel is, sure, this Syndra is a problem, right? Obviously, if you can get on Syndra, it's great. Just Flash. Just 5-man. Sit on your Jinx and keep her alive if you can. Froggy, though, weren't forced to burn Flash. They go a little bit overextended.
Yeah,
but Jinx gets caught in no man's land as well as the Lulu, and what needed to be protected gets caught himself on the cross by the Nocturne and the Zeri. As now Baron's gonna fall for the third time for Texas this series.
And
as
4 towers fall.
Fuel's hopes.
The 4th tower falls, the Baron falls, the next Drake is up in 50, but I don't think they need it. They got Baron. They're at a 13.2k gold lead, which they increased in a record time compared to the first two games. We're at 22-15.
I haven't seen a game that hasn't been a 10k gold lead at 20 minutes. This is just it's anguish. This is pain to watch, really. This is not something that anyone really is enjoying to be a part of. I mean, I'm sure Texas is. I mean, honestly, I don't know if Texas even. I think they're just being. They're just there. They're just winning. Like, they aren't really having to do anything. There's not really.
This is so hard to cast.
This is it borderline impossible, to be honest. But we tried our best here. Thresh gonna get knocked up a little bit by that first strike from Sutek, but that just cracks the bone plating as the Drake spawns. It is not sold, though, as Fuel was able to sneak away one Mountain Drake as a small saving grace. Maybe they can find something on a side lane. HDK.
Texas is going for it.
Yeah, Drake's going to be taken, but again, it's not sold, right? This is just a third Drake. But now they can start to walk in. Fuel going to look to try to get a side lane pick here. You know, HDK looking to try to push off. But split pushing isn't going to happen when this Scion's already here. Jinx is caught in the mid lane, forced to use that flash as well as that wild growth. Heal used as well. 3 summoners, or 3 abilities used just to get away from a Nocturnal. As now the side of Texas A&M turn their focus towards Horus. A nice flash, though, from him will get him to safety. But again, Fuel forced to use all these cooldowns just to escape early picks, 1 ability usages.
Turrets are falling left, right, and center.
Boo cannot walk up because now he's in Scatter the Weak or a hook. He will just die instantly. Horus cannot walk up for the same reason. So now Texas A&M, they are given all the leeway and all the control of the map that they want, because both carries of Fuel are unable to do anything about it or walk up for fear of dying.
And you can see where now Fuel is really concentrating, just trying to defend this like top corner, but they gotta be careful as now the mid lane and the bot lane are both exposed. The Nocturnal comes out again, and everyone goes in. Nocturne is godlike. Sutek is caught out in the middle and gets cut down. That is HDK and Sutek cut down. Boo, on their own on the Jinx, has to hold against 4 as they start rushing. Horus comes into assist. Guru is somewhere existing, but Froggy gets cut down.
Boo gets hit by a Scatter the Weak, and that, I believe, is curtains for Fuel for the NECC season. Ended in a very, very sad way. Fuel confident coming into this due to, unforeseen circumstances. They were unable to field their full roster, as well as, I mean,
I'm just watching this gold lead. We're at 15.2K.
it's going to be high. I'll tell you.
Yep, and I'm waiting. We're going to see at least, yeah, and that's the Nexus falling.
25 minutes. Not a single game went over 30 in this series, as that is a quick 3-0 for the side of Texas A&M, as they are your NECC Division II League of Legends champions.
And with that, our Fuel season ends.
Fuel ends. And not just does Fuel League end. Fuel ends.
Yeah, Fuel ends.
I mean, but I
We'll be back in
believe we
September.
will have one more thing for you tonight, as I do believe we will still be having an interview with one of the players of Fuel. We'll have to take a short break before that. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. We are joined by Boo, the captain of our League of Legends team, for an interview. Obviously, an unfortunate bow out of the series, but I guess, we'll talk about the whole season as a whole, and also, your entire Fuel journey, because I believe this is your final series, final game, final stand, really.
Yeah.
Fuel.
I mean, yeah, disappointing way to end the season. It might not be the end yet. Like, I think we
Humber 3-0'd.
are, yeah, Humber won, but we are locked 9th, so maybe a team drops out or something. Or maybe I play CIE, so maybe it's not the last time you'll come see me in a Fuel jersey. But I'm still really proud of our team, the way, like, how far we came. I think it's really impressive that we were able to get through a lot of our humps and still make it to grand finals.
It was an amazing feat to watch on, especially in the playoffs. Like, you went absolutely insane throughout, and then unfortunately for these grand finals, but you held your own as a team, like, in all three matches, even though they went dire throughout. However, you played a heck of a game.
Yeah, I mean, I I think we tried our best. We definitely tried our best. Things just didn't go our way, but yeah, still proud of everyone.
Yeah, each game felt like one thing went wrong and just everything snowballed out of
dominoes just
control,
fell
right? Like
over.
game 1, it was the Drake. Game 2
It was the Drake.
may have also, I don't remember.
Yeah,
actually.
it's
I
just
don't know
a
if
just
game 2
a
was.
bad series of
And
events.
then game 3 was
Game 3 was
Syndra.
game 3.
Yeah.
Game 3 was Syndra,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, unfortunate. But like, you said you're still pretty proud of the team. Is there
Mhm.
anything specific that you feel like the team really excelled in this semester that you weren't expecting coming into it?
I think our ability to just kind of play on the fly was really good. I think honestly that's probably just like a common fuel trait that we just kind of go into the games not really planning anything, and then we just end up coming up with the W. So that was pretty fun to do throughout the year.
Yeah, of course.
Special shout outs to my first teammates at Fuel, Platinum LJ, one of my favorite teammates, and Alex,
Fantastic.
my first support. And then we have our teammates last year like Marshall, Zan. So yeah, special shout out to them. Even though HDK, I feel like we didn't have the best relationship. I'm still kind of proud of the way he grew as a person. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to do, but I think compared to the person he was at the beginning of the year, or
He's
when I
almost
first met him.
interview ready.
Yeah, he's almost PR ready.
It's the best way to put it. But yeah, you've had a really tough time, I think, managing a team like League of Legends because it's coaching, captaining.
Yeah.
I'm really good at
Captaining,
my job.
leading.
Captaining, leading a team like League of Legends because it's a game where egos really do shine.
Yeah.
And it's a game where each person, there's the stereotype of League players that they don't really interact with people.
Yeah.
And I think you have to deal with a lot of different personalities. So honestly, finding as much success as this team did, as honestly the field rosters did when you were the captain, right? First semester, runner up in CLOL. No,
Or, like,
first
CLOL
semester,
qualifiers.
undefeated NECC playoff.
I think runner up for that one.
No, I don't think you. I think you lost it.
Irrelevant.
Anyways,
anyways,
ECAC, we didn't
yeah,
make that.
No.
Runner up for CLOL qualifiers. Runner up for Texas.
Yeah.
Runner up. It's kind of just been a story of runner ups.
We're just the second place team. First place is overrated.
Silver's better than gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, you gave some shout outs. If you want any more, feel free to, right, to shout out any more else. But I think, it's obviously a sad way to go out for sure. But I think overall, you've still had a very, successful Fuel career.
Yeah.
And everyone here is going to miss you.
Yeah, thank you. A special shout out to these two casters here. Couldn't do it without you guys. Fofo, League Manager, Observer, Dragon, or the Lord, sorry, for producing most of our league streams. Shout out to my two best friends, Thomas and Nash. They're my league buddies. Thomas doesn't play anymore, but Nash and I are going to stay like this forever. And special shout out to my girlfriend who lets me play League of Legends and doesn't leave me after I grind like a couple of games of solo queue. So yeah, that's everything. And Fuel staff, everybody, Tyler for organizing everything. And then I don't even know if Leo will like know that I'm saying this, but special shout out to Leo.
We love Leo.
Even though he wasn't the manager of the League of Legends team, he helped me out a lot with organizing a lot of stuff with like NECC and registration. So yeah, that's been my time at Fuel.
Yeah, and that has been our semester for the 2025-26 year, at least so far. We'll be back in fall, but that is our final stream for Fuel. We will not be streaming any nationals matches as exams are. A lot of our workers are final year students, third year. A lot of them are very, very busy, very, very exam heavy courses. So just don't really have the time to do so. So unfortunately, we will not be doing that. So again, this is our final stream. But we here want to thank you guys for watching us. If you've ever tuned into a stream at all throughout the entire semester, we want to thank you for that. It has been an absolute pleasure to do so. And I know that me and Dragon are returning, right, buddy?
Yes, we are.
Oh, you'll get to see our faces once again. Don't miss it. We'll see you in fall.
Have a great night, everyone.